Hello guys.
Hello.
How you doing?
All good, thanks.
It is blazing hot in here.
It's quite warm in here.
Ball suit.
How are you, Rob?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Mm.
Ready to chow down on some.
We have a guest in the form of Carl.
I wouldn't go that far.
Hi, Carl.
Yes.
Hi.
And we have Nolisky.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I think we should fire him.
We've traded him in.
Yeah.
For an older model.
A better model. So last week we had quite a bit to say, didn't we? Again. It's quite a long one.
Go on, talk us through it. What was last week?
We spoke about Korn's semi-new bassist.
Oh, yeah.
You see the videos?
Seen the footage? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the video that I sent you.
Yeah. Incredible. Spoke about Damn Things, Mastodon Sales, Five Finger Death Punch, the Parkway Drive gig. I don't think we could have said anything better.
Yeah, we covered that pretty well, didn't we?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It was just insane.
Oh, was you there as well?
Amazing.
I went to Nottingham with these guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They live streamed
Got
on
the
Facebook.
the PG-13 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But the more intimate setting.
Yeah.
The watered down
So
True.
production, but
I
I prefer an intimate setting.
Yeah,
I do like fire though.
Yeah.
can't be.
Blazing hot.
Pyrophiliac.
Oh yeah, happy 420, guys. Yeah.
Mm.
I have high expectations of today's show. Yeah.
Come on, let's blaze through the news.
We spoke about the Royal, how good that is, and on the back of the Parkway gig, gig etiquette and the do's and don'ts, which we're all on the same page for that. Our game was hardcore.
Yeah.
We got another one today for thrash. And if you don't know what the game is, we basically go out and try and find a band we haven't yet heard, and through subgenres of metal, and sell it to everybody else.
Yeah.
In a way.
I'm excited for mine this
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Did you like it this time?
Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan. Again. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's getting better for sure, I think.
If it was a car, I definitely wouldn't be able to sell it to you. That's what I'm going to say.
Carl hates thrash.
No, it hasn't gone well for you then.
Mr. Metallica over there.
I should come with a disclaimer for
I
this.
thought you was a
episode.
massive Metallica fan.
Yeah, we said we're going to exclude all of the big four, and he's like, "That's fine. I hate all of them."
I hate every single one of the big four.
He just sings his name, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Hey, I'm James Hetfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Carl, you got you got an all killer for us.
That was more macho than Randy
Yeah.
Savage.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
What we got coming up then?
Coming up, we got quite a bit of news actually. New band called Bad Wolves, which I'm looking forward to. Puddle of Mud Singer's gone a bit mental again. The weird, creepy Manson videos for his supposedly new album, maybe, hopefully. A bit on Andals from X Chimera.
Yeah.
And some about Tom from Slayer.
Tom Araya.
Tom Araya.
From Slayer.
From Slayer.
You're a poet and you do not know it.
Alright, quite a few new listens actually. We're gonna have to unban
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park
Yeah.
for just today,
Yeah, and then we're going to quickly ban them again.
and then
straight
ban them
afterwards. Yeah.
straight afterwards.
Yeah.
New While She Sleeps, New Royal Blood, New All That Remains,
Yes.
band called Loathe, which I've
So-
never heard of.
Did you say Wash the Seats?
Yeah, I said While She
Yeah,
Sleeps.
Sorry.
And Capture the Crown. And our topic, which we're going to try and discuss, is image within music.
Yeah. The importance of image,
Yeah,
the role it plays.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think you can get around it.
Just all around the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In and around.
cool.
Right then.
Right.
Still with the news?
Yeah, news.
You're right then, mate.
Yeah. Carl, you got some news on Eskimo Call Boy.
Yeah, as I seem to be the main purveyor of this band and
You're
thrusting it upon all of you guys.
You certainly are.
They've just finished recording their new album and they've just started finishing their just started recording. Their first video for the single, for the new album. It's alleged they've got. It seems like they've got a few guest vocalists this time. One, it's alleged from the chest piece they've hidden his face that it's going to be Franz from Attila, and that's going to be their first single, which should hopefully hit in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, see, I've not. I think I've heard them, but I'm guessing they're pretty heavy if they've got Franz from Attila on there. So
Yeah,
They're unique.
real heavy
They're
places.
unique
they're post-hardcore electronica.
right, okay, that's either going to be really good
One
or
for the
really
game.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they refer to themselves as porno metal.
Oh, really good then. Okay, cool. Start a new genre called fat metal.
They suck dick.
Anyways,
Andals.
Anders, yes. Anders Herrick, ex-Chimera. He has been diagnosed, well, he hasn't actually even been diagnosed with an illness. Top medics in America have come out and sort of tried to analyse his condition. They can't put their finger on what he's got. It's a mystery chronic illness, which has in effect put Anders out of work. Being a heavy metal drummer, he can't do anything at the moment. Whilst his medical bills are just spiralling pretty much out of control, as is the healthcare system in America.
Yeah.
We don't have an NHS like us. And things are getting very expensive very quick for him, so he has called upon, well, anybody really, but more sort of try to appeal to fans of Chimera or anybody that's got a bit of enjoyment out of his previous work. He's called on them to try and donate anything to help cover the costs of his medical bills.
right.
That's gofundme.com /Anders Herrick. Medical bills, he's got 11,000 out of the 35,000 he's requesting,
Yeah.
but they're even saying that 35,000 would probably not be enough.
Have they
Because
detailed?
this is an ongoing thing until they figure out exactly what he's got. The cost of his medical bills are sort of
Just rises.
rising, and they're sort of indefinite. So, yeah, anyone out there that feels like they want to donate, that's the link. If you've ever enjoyed his drums on any album,
That's a pretty difficult situation for him as well, especially for like putting a pledge out there if he doesn't understand. They don't understand what's wrong with him.
yeah,
To then word that and then say we need help for bills of something that we haven't diagnosed.
Yes.
That's pretty tricky.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's awful.
top doctors have looked at him and gone, wow, like we cannot figure out what you've got. It's such a unique thing, but apparently it's like crippling him. He said he has good days and bad days, but the bad days he can't get out of bed. It's like chronic pain
Right.
in his joints and muscles. So yeah, I mean, a phenomenal talent. I feel the Impossibility of Reason drums alone.
Am I right in thinking he left and then came back to
He
Chimera?
left in
Yeah.
2003, then came back in 2006.
Yeah.
But I think he is responsible for most of Chimera's studio stuff. It was more of the touring aspect he didn't enjoy, which was his issue with keeping up or keeping in the band. He loved the studio work, which is why now, or since leaving Chimera, he is labelled, like on his Wikipedia, it's up there as session drummer.
Yeah.
Studio drummer, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what he's all about. But yeah, now obviously can't do it. And need some help from the wider community. So yeah, if you feel like it,
Okay.
and chuck him some money.
I'll have to look into that, follow it. Yeah. Okay.
It's always one of the saddest stories when a musician can't do what they love anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like back in 2000, the lead singer and lead guitarist from Silverchair,
Yeah.
he got arthritis in his hand
Okay.
and had to give up playing his guitar.
Yeah,
And
it's
just-
devastating. Absolutely devastating.
Same situation with Ghost Inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
the guitarist has had some surgery done recently. And it's like apparently it's like the 12th operation he's had to have done.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
He's going through it. Jonathan, he is getting repeated infections in his ankle. They keep needing to operate on it, and every time they do, it's opening it up for, well, like airborne infections.
Right.
So that's delaying the healing process. The drummer, I'm not sure about the Ghost Inside's drummer.
The
He's got
drummer
prosthetic
lost,
leg,
lost his
yeah.
leg, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video that they put out because they did a campaign gig in London. It was Your Demise came back, Death of Honor,
That's right,
Unit
yeah.
6, and who's the last band? I can't remember. But they did like a sort of fundraising gig in London, which was really good. And then they released a video like a few months later showing the drummer with a prosthetic leg that he could start to sort of play a few beats on like a sort of like a light synth kit.
Was it like one of those electronic kind of kits? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's gonna be really interesting, I think, to hear, because of the nature of those kind of drums. You're talking really intense double bass. It's not like it's just simple sort of 4/4 beats all the time. It's like, can you ever recover from that? Like, I mean,
Well,
I'd love
tragic,
to see it. I'd love to see it happen.
Yeah.
But you're always thinking, all right, this is not an uncomplicated sort of band, is it? The Ghost Inside, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Is what we're getting at, so.
Another tragic one is mainly in the Sons of Disaster singer.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's in a terrible, terrible way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's
lucky to be alive.
He's very lucky to be alive. Yeah. What about Dillinger? Were they all good?
They were fine.
They had-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a couple of them got a bit scratched up, but they're all fine. There's no injuries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was just after I saw them as well, like a few days later. Crazy.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, that was Andal's. What do we have next?
Tom Araya from Slayer. That old boy. Yeah. So this story was a fan sent him a picture. It was like a promo photo of Slayer, and they sort of photoshopped Donald Trump into the photo.
So the band did this.
No, a fan did
Oh,
it
a
and
fan
sent
did it.
and sent it to them.
Oh,
And then they
they
decided to
reposted it.
reshare
Oh,
it
okay.
from their Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
Because they just said that they found it funny.
Yeah.
And basically, like in a statement, what the response from the fans was obviously awful because they're sort of very much, not in line with his politics, if you want to call it that.
Can you call what he does politics?
Yeah. So yeah, there was a backlash obviously from the fans, and then Tom just sort of turned around and just said, "Look, I was just dicking about, like, and called them all a bunch of crybabies." He just said, "Hey, I'm in Slayer, and sometimes you just got to do stuff like this to piss people off," which is like, okay, I sort of see that as quite funny, but at the same time,
It's
it's a bit desperate to get a reaction, isn't it?
It sort of goes back to the attitude of Kerry King again that you were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very trivial, I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It's it's a smaller story, but it's just one of those. It's kind of sad to report on things like this because it's they're such iconic figures in metal,
I mean,
and to sort of play on what is obviously so globalizing and sort of.
It does go back to that episode, I think, like a month ago now, where Thy Art Is Murder had that whole thing with the make deathcore great again.
Yeah.
Hat, and it's trivial stuff.
Yeah.
Really.
There's not really too much to say about that, but I mean, I just think that if you're a Slayer fan, you should at least know. Well, you should know that they're not really sort of Republican supporters of. Even if he was a Republican,
These bands do have like a personality.
Yeah.
I think like maybe that's.
Speaking of Slayer, here we go.
Alright, I want to talk about a band called Bad Wolves.
Okay.
They haven't done anything yet, but they've teased a song called Learn, I think it's just Learn, but it is fucking heavy as shit, and I can't wait for it. And they are made up of the singer from Divine Heresy, God Forbid and Bury Your Dead guitarist, and Devil Driver's drummer, and the bassist from Vimic. And,
That sounds good.
Yeah, so it's gonna be heavy as shit. The clip they released, like a real tease.
A hell of a tease, because it feels like it's about to drop into this insane breakdown and then just stops. Just stops dead, and you're like, oh, fuck. But that's the whole point, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Build anticipation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait for them. They sound
Production sound really crisp and really like clean, and
you can't fault what you've heard.
no.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Where did they share that? Oh,
Instagram.
So how did you become aware of them? Was this through like?
I think it might have been through Facebook, through someone else, like Metal Injection or something like that.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, cool.
Yeah, can't wait for them.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? Manson's weird, creepy little videos. Have you seen any of them?
Nope.
His art house style videos.
Yeah.
That are supposed to allude to a new album, but
which
don't really say much.
doesn't say much. Like one of the first videos is just like a video on a phone, and it's like zooming into this lit up cross, like a double-ended cross, and that's about it. And then it finishes. And the next one, they're driving in the car, and they see this cross again, and then you hear all screaming and stuff, and everyone's back in the car and drives away. And then one of the last ones, they're walking down the street and they see this cross light up, and it turns around, there's like a shadow standing there behind them. Right. And then it cuts out, and that's all it's really been.
It's like fucking Slender Man or something.
Yeah, it's like real, like Blair Witch sort of.
Maybe it's going to be
How it works.
Christ Superstar 2.
Yeah, maybe.
And again, where's that being teased?
That was on Marilyn Manson's Instagram.
Okay, cool. It's funny how Instagram's become a really good platform for teasing, isn't
Mm.
it? Yeah. I guess originally they had 15-second clips of videos, and
Yeah.
now it's been extended to like a minute,
Yeah.
which is quite a nice amount of time to tease a new bit of music, I found.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that as well. And then you got like people revealing artwork on Instagram through like little tile by tile.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
post a new photo, then it all goes out of sync and looks shit anyway. But it's like, Paramore. So obviously a bit on the lighter side compared to listening to Slayer right now, but they've released a new single called Hard Times, which this album's been since Paramore's been around, like a good 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, they've been quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And their album's called After Laughter. Zach, the drummer that left back in 2010, he's returned after a while. And it's out on May 12th, so that's been sort of a big internet buzz at the moment. I really like Paramore.
There's already a gig set up in Bristol.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's they've sort of got bigger and bigger and become less sort of in their pop punk roots and more. Like this new single's very 80s synth sounding. It's very kind of. Actually, if you watch the video for it, I thought it was like a Ting Tings video or something.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like it was very like animated, like
Yeah.
crazy colours and sort of a bit 80s sounding, and then but with the Paramore twist on it. It's alright. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
that'll be exciting to see how that goes.
A little bit on Pod of the Mud Singer. I can't remember his name. Where's something or other?
No, I can't.
Where's? He's gone a bit mad. lately, isn't it?
Every week
Like,
someone's gone mad.
Yeah, sort of like
Yeah.
bunch last week.
Ivan Moon last week. It must just be like front man syndrome.
He's been going off the rails a bit for quite some time now, hasn't he?
Is he?
Like storming off stage.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
it's not the
aware.
first time.
No.
I wasn't aware of their existence as a band
still.
anymore.
Yeah. This time he's had a go at his drummer like mid song, and then just grabbed his bag and walked off stage, and that was it. Just gone.
What's the reason?
I don't know. Nobody knows. And like,
Did you hear the argument? It's like, what?
no.
Can't hear you.
He's still playing drums. He's still playing like they're playing the song, but he's shouting at this guy and just walks away.
No one.
Maybe
heard
his
the
ego is
argument
just so
Yeah.
massive.
because they haven't been relevant since
Yeah,
2003.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone fucking hates him, basically.
I miss McHugh.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. Got in there.
Made a right hash of that.
Oh Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh Mary Jane.
Need to wheedle out those weaklings.
Right. Anything else?
Shit.
Anything else?
Happy 420s.
Yeah. It's 420. There we go. That's
Doesn't
the news.
work in Britain.
No, not really.
24.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
doesn't have the same
Yeah.
ring to it, does it? Yeah.
11-9.
If you're fascinated, Google where the name 420 comes from. It's quite a fascinating story, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the.
To do with the kids at school and hiding weed.
I thought it was.
Oh,
like,
wasn't it they come home at
Isn't
at
it
420?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Meet
time
up.
to buy it.
Yeah.
I thought it was the law. It was like the Fourth Amendment.
In the amendment, you have to buy weed.
It definitely
No.
wouldn't have been the fourth,
No,
because the fifth was you can carry guns.
No, they outlawed it. Hence why on 420 everyone smoked.
Oh, I
it.
don't know.
Maybe.
No, I'd heard this about the time they finished school, and that was the time
Oh.
you go to buy the weed.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of kids that were like sneaking around and
Yeah.
had their little spot behind the
Okay.
school. But I don't know. Your story sounds more culturally interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Sounds a little
something
bit-
to
Sorry,
do
not
with-
your story, the one that your own personal story. All right then.
Oh,
So
well,
new
moving
listens.
New listens, right. I'm going to lift the ban off Linkin Park.
Right. Has anyone heard this new Linkin Park track called Goodbye then?
No, because we banned them.
I
Right.
haven't even bothered to listen since the first song they released.
Oh, I should better go solo then, hadn't I? Yeah.
About
Not the
Symphony was
first
on
time.
Kerrang last night, and I was like,
Just shoot me now.
just
Yeah.
fuck off.
Right. So we were going to talk about this new Linkin Park track last week because they announced that Stormzy was on it, and that's going to be in the news. But I thought we'd wait until it actually comes out so we can hear it and make an opinion. I've been talking shit about the last two singles, you know, in quite a lot of detail.
Not just you.
No, we all have.
I think it's been the whole world.
Yeah, pretty
On
much.
this note, so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pee.
Oh, all right.
Down my tiny bladder.
We've got. Oh, he's fallen over.
He's trashing the joint.
He just couldn't handle Linkin Park.
That's the real reason.
15 minutes into it. Jesus.
That's the earliest anyone's ever
The size
gone.
of Pat's room.
Got a man down. Anyway, so I thought that I'd actually hold out and wait to hear it because I don't mind a bit of grime music. I like rap and it can be quite aggressive. And I was thinking, okay, maybe having Storms in a track, you're going to come in a bit more aggressive. You're going to get an aggressive
A bit of an
urbanized.
injection of
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's the best thing about the track. But not in an aggressive way. It's just the rest of the band, again, are just coming out with bollocks. It's just glitzy, shiny. They've got Pusha T on there as well, which is another rapper. And again, like these two features are just like the best part about the song. Everything, the Linkin Park on the song is awful. It's just like this glitzy pop track.
Yeah.
And it's even got those like, those squeaky chipmunk vocals that have been like pitch shifted in the
God.
background. Like it's
Like,
with this.
auto-tune and-
Yeah, sort of like EDM of claps in the background,
Oh,
sort of,
yeah.
you know, and the whole, just everything that is not Linkin Park.
It does sound like anybody could have written that.
Yeah.
It's not like their own identity anymore. It's like that's not Chester Bennington's voice. It's like just so
Well,
down
Dude
the
can
middle.
sing, to be fair, like he sounds good, but it's just not in an aggressive way. It's just like
Yeah.
a polished pop vocal.
Very polished. Yeah.
I did.
Sugar coated.
Yeah, I did see a thing about Linkin Park and ESP.
Mhm.
The guitars. I didn't look into it at all, but unless anybody else did, they can fill me in.
An ESP.
The guitars.
Oh right. Oh okay. Yep. Well,
I'll look it up.
so maybe there was one guitar track on the whole album.
Yeah, I think that was it. Like they are sponsored by ESP and they're not actually using any guitars.
There's just one blistering guitar solo on the album that's going to make everyone go, fuck.
Just melts your face.
Yeah. But for everyone that was talking shit on Stormzy being on the song and the whole controversy about that, well, they did have that live release with Jay-Z, didn't they, originally?
Yeah.
So, and they are a rap sort of metal crossover, so it's not like anything new.
No.
True.
So
Yeah.
I don't see why everyone was such a backlash. It's
Yeah,
just
that's what I was going to say. Mike
Yeah.
Shinoda's whole gig in
Yeah.
the band was to rap. so
exactly, yeah.
I like the Jay-Z stuff.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it was good.
It was
No.
a good album.
Yeah,
It's one
yeah.
of the best ones.
Yeah. Cheer. Cheer. Jay-Z.
It's a good joint
He's got
collaboration.
100 problems now. And
He's
a
got
woman's one.
But what's the dude that raps in Linkin Park? It just takes his shit way too seriously as well.
Oh, Mike Shinoda.
Yeah. My girlfriend told me that I was obsessed with Linkin Park, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
While She Sleeps has a new track. That's a ban on Linkin Park again.
Yeah, they can get that.
You make my skin crawl.
We've got another one on that.
Yeah, what's your sixth new track?
Awesome.
Feel.
Awesome.
Haven't set a foot wrong yet.
No, not yet.
No, it just seems to be single after single.
Yeah.
Hang about. How many singles have they put out now? 4? 5?
Really?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think it's 5.
Ooh, we're going back to what we were saying.
Mm.
Are they all going to be on the album though? That's the thing.
Surely.
Surely. There's a really interesting interview with them on Radio 1
Yeah.
on Friday, just before they released the single, talking about how they'd rebuilt their childhood hangout, the barn, and that's where they're actually
the
recording.
Yeah, the studio. Yeah.
That's actually where they're
Sleeps
recording
HQ. Yeah.
They
this
let people-
album, but they built it all themselves by hand.
Okay. That's awesome.
They're on one, aren't they? Really? I mean, I don't know how they became independent. I don't know the story there. Were they dropped off their label, or did they just
No,
decide
I
to
think
go
they
independent?
faced quite a lengthy sort of process to.
They wanted to do it, didn't they?
Yeah,
they
they
wanted it
wanted
for
to,
their
yeah.
like hardcore values. They wanted to be a properly self-sufficient band.
Yeah.
Yeah, and prove that it could be done. So hopefully to inspire
Yeah.
others to break away from their labels.
Yeah.
And basically get to a point where every single penny that's put into the band, or actually every single bit of profit that is made, they're going to basically just pour straight back into the band, and there's going to be no people with their hands out expecting payments and third parties, you know, and I think they just want to be completely DIY, because like you say, that punk sort of
Yeah, that
attitude.
self-sufficiency ethos.
Yeah.
You can't really commit 100% to a punk attitude if you're then taking handouts from a record label.
Yeah. Yes.
I did go on their website. I think they're like 250% over their target.
For the
Jesus.
crowdfunding.
What was the target originally?
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can go visit their studio.
You can.
Really?
Yeah.
£150 will get you a 2-hour guitar session.
Oh yeah, I did see that as well. Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah. Which would be really cool.
I did see one of their like thank you videos on Instagram. They were all kissing around there, talking to Morgan Freeman on the phone. Have you seen that one?
Actually, do.
Yeah, actually did. Obviously, it's not Morgan Freeman, but and that's when they got to like 102% over for their target, and they said that will cover the recording of the album, like just the recording.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the money will go to distribution and
Marketing.
and stuff like marketing and stuff.
It's
like
really
that.
cool to see all these pictures of the You Are We poster all around London.
Yeah.
Just in these massive billboards, and to know that
But they're responsible for it.
they've just funded the whole lot themselves. It's
Yeah.
not some massive corporate backing. It's
Yeah.
all fan funded, and it's awesome.
I love seeing stories like that. I think you got even from like the early days, and then Shikari did it with like their first album, self-released it, and they've kind of remained independent since then, which is a bit of an anomaly how they've managed to do it. With
They
Lightning Sound.
and Shikaria. Okay.
Yeah, they're still independent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got even like massive bigger bands like Avenged when they put their album out, because they came off Warner Brothers. And there's like a lawsuit there. And that's how they managed to do the whole surprise release thing.
Okay.
And they now manage all their merch. They decide what they want. They can bring it out when they want.
Yeah.
Everything. is
Metallica
like,
are the same. Actually.
Yeah, they're now.
I think
releasing
it's
their own
just
shit.
it's just freedom, because you're so beholden to contracts, and you have so much dictated to in where you have to be, how many live gigs you have to do per year, quotas to fill, all of this stuff. And if you're on your own, I think it just gives you a lot more freedom to express yourself as a band and do what you want.
Well, that's why a lot of bands don't end up putting out second albums, because you've got your whole life to write that first album, and then you get the pressure of the record label telling you what to do. I mean, this is a whole debate in itself, but it just falls apart. There's all the stress levels.
Trivium, it nearly killed them.
Yeah,
like it nearly ruined them.
Trivium.
Yeah, like it nearly fucked them right over. So.
Studios are notorious now as well for making you. They pick the sound they want from you now. You can't even choose your own sound anymore after they've signed you.
Wow. Okay.
Roadrunner
that's
in
a
the early
small
2000s were quite bad for that.
Yeah. So that's another freedom that going independent you'd have. The release of this single, it came just after a bit of a clip that went online. They went round.
Oh, well, they were like
With the
playing the
headphones.
songs with it and to different fans.
Oh,
Yeah, and you
yeah.
were seeing the reactions, and
Yeah.
it looked like a very positive response
Yeah.
from everybody. So
That was a good little bit of marketing, that wasn't it?
yeah, it was cool.
actually? Yeah.
Because it seemed like a genuinely like organic like reaction.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to play the clip of someone going, that is a fucking
Yeah.
shit.
That's true.
Is this?
Yeah, I saw that, and it does work. It got you hyped for the single, didn't
Yeah,
it?
because the guy's like, oh fuck that riff. Where'd that riff come from? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I fucking want to hear it. Now.
Yeah. And their album's out tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, before the first date of their tour.
Ooh.
Which
Yeah.
you are.
I'm
You are going.
to release.
How big's that
Nice.
place?
Capacity is 600.
It's above a pub.
Above a
Yeah.
pub.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Mm.
I went to a pub gig. Went to see Wilson. One of the best gigs I've ever been to. And there's only like 20 of us in there.
Nice.
It was ridiculous.
There's something about pub gigs, isn't there?
Yeah.
Same. I went to see Eskimo Call Boy in the Borderline in London. Probably a venue that only holds about 150 people. There's probably about 40 people there, but everyone was mad for it,
Yeah.
and it was so good.
I love those rare moments.
Yeah.
Arcane Roots upstairs at the waterfront to like 40 people as well.
Really?
Why is no one here? And like, we'd played there like a few months before to like triple the, not bragging rights, like triple the amount of people. And we're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
nuts.
But that's just like
They should be selling out like the
Yeah.
downstairs bit, really.
yeah. But they will be when they come back now. That's the thing. It's just like if you haven't like touched on certain areas, that's sort of how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other new listeners have we got?
I heard a brand new track from All That Remains this week.
Yep.
It's called Louder. Not metalcore at all. There's no fast double bass. There's no sort of, you know, those picky riffs they're famous for. There's no there's no high tempo. It's very, very slow and almost rocky sounding. It's
Really? Oh.
just quite uninteresting. It didn't make me want to go back and listen to it. It's not like anything like This Calling where you're just like, oh holy fuck, like,
Yeah.
that's really good. Yeah.
Well, I did read a review about that album, and the guy was basically just saying, "This isn't metal. Like this isn't."
Okay.
Yeah, he was basically just sort of saying, just when you think it's about to get heavy, they start singing. And I was thinking, okay, well that's quite common in metal music. You're angry that it's not heavy enough for you, but that just sounds to me like they've just not done a more melodic version very well. And that's what.
No,
Yeah.
they haven't really.
So you've just not. I mean, you can cross over and become less heavy, but still do it well. Like, but obviously they haven't. So I had a couple of tracks, but it didn't.
like Bring Me.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they did it well.
Yeah.
No, this sounds bland. That's just
It's
yeah.
beige, is it?
Beige.
Beige.
Little bit green.
New Raw Blood track called Lights Out. That came out last week, I believe, or the end of last week. The album's called How Did We Get So Dark, and that's out June 16th. Anyone like Raw Blood?
I can't say I've ever listened to
No,
it, to be
nor have I.
honest.
From what I've heard,
Got on my list.
they sound alright.
Worth a listen. Two-piece. The last album, I remember discovering them, and then they just blew up really quickly and became like main stage Reading, like Radio 1 poster boys sort of thing, just
Wow.
like all over the place. Doing like, I think they're supporting Foo Fighters at one point as well. They really
Okay.
got big.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just a drummer and a bass guitar, sort of like a distortion pedal, just meaty riffs. Quite old school, kind of like Sabbathy in places. But yeah, the new single's good. Got a really cool chorus, really catchy
Okay.
sort of ring to it. So
Am I right in saying they're a bit similar to like Heaven's Basement?
I don't know
kind of.
Heaven's Basement, so I
No.
couldn't tell you. But,
It sounds similar
yeah.
to those guys.
So that two-piece thing's become quite, like using octave pedals and like massive.
So they're a two-piece.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, sort of similar to bands like Eagles of death metal
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That use that real doomy, simplistic,
Mm.
bouncy riff thing.
Okay.
In a similar vein, there's a band called Big Spring who I discovered. And they've got a new single out called 5th of July. It's a similar sort of style, just really dirty, but like crisp production. And the vocals are a little bit like Muse.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting, a little bit spacey.
Yeah.
Can hear him breathe.
Yeah.
I can't get that out of my head every time I hear him now.
Sorry.
Oh, right, okay, Muse, yeah.
Is that just one song in particular?
No.
Every song. Let's go back and listen to him. He'll sing a vocal, then he'll go and into the next
Yeah.
one. They edited
So
out
when you
of
hear
the,
it once, you can't unhear
I
that.
know how like
They edited it out of the new album.
oh really?
Yeah.
You know how
Also,
like,
they actually make a point of.
like King 810, how he does it in that way, he does it on purpose.
Mm.
Where Muse don't.
Yeah, sometimes it adds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prime example is Plug and Baby. Go back and listen to it. And
Wow.
He's got a very
Oh, well.
distinct voice, hasn't he? It's very kind of like, you either love it or you hate it. It's quite whiny in places. I mean, I really like Muse, and they're definitely a live band that you need to go see if you haven't.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw them at the O2. It was fucking phenomenal. It was ridiculously good.
Oh, if they're there,
Yeah.
like, I'll definitely watch them.
Yeah.
Like if they were headlining Download, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah,
like, I would, because I'm curious.
Have they all
about
done
them.
download?
Yeah.
Are they?
I think he did it was it a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Might have been last year, the year before.
Leesky saw them.
Oh, did
Yeah.
Yeah, he said they're fucking amazing.
Who's Leesky?
That guy we fired.
Oh, okay.
Oh fuck.
That hippie.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to mention him.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
they might find a body.
Have Foo Fighters played download? Nothing about it.
No.
Are they not?
Which is surprising, considering the sort of headliners that Download has had over the years.
Yeah.
You'd think Foo Fighters
Like-
would be
Offspring.
Biffy Clyro this year,
Yeah.
for example.
Mm-hmm.
How good would Foo Fighters be though? Amazing.
I think they're good down really well.
They'd go
I'm
down
surprised they
well.
haven't, yeah.
Yeah.
They probably will at some point. I think they're doing Glastonbury this year, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah.
Because
Because they were going to do it last year or the year before, but then he broke his leg. And then came back on that crazy chair thing, didn't he?
Oh, surrounded by the,
Yeah.
like the Game of Thrones
Yeah.
style, but it
That
was
was
guitars.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his throne of guitars.
yeah. Last band I want to mention is a band called Loathe. Go check them out if you haven't. They're heavy as fuck. Doomy. They've got a song called It's Yours. This album's called The Cold Sun. It's just fucking heavy. I don't really know how to describe them. They actually sound quite unique. Again, it's that bassy sort of like simplistic sound, but it's just way heavier with aggressive vocals.
Yeah.
And it's been getting really good like reviews everywhere.
Okay.
So-
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Following on from your game last week, your choice.
Yeah.
Obey the Brave.
Yeah.
Did you think? Yeah, I've gone away and listened to them since. Just fucking phenomenal. I think.
Obey the Brave.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
We
really-
listened to the
Really happy with it.
the stuff we went through in the game last week. I listened to First Blood a lot. And Hellions.
Yeah.
They're really good, yeah.
You like?
I didn't get on with Employed Serve.
I did.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I did. I quite
Yeah.
enjoyed them, but not as much as Obey the Brave. Their choruses.
Whose choice was that?
Lisa.
Who? Okay, moving on.
Lisa.
Lisa?
Lisa. Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's on next list.
So, whilst we're on Obey the Brave, we
Mona
should
Lisa.
also point out that we got a bit of a copyright issue last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which could happen again this week. I'm
Shouldn't-
going to
shouldn't do,
hopefully
shouldn't
not. But you can explain that one.
Yeah, I think I've covered it.
It was a huge week for Infinite Metal podcast.
Yeah, we did get banned in 17 countries, which apparently is quite weird to
Worldwide
do.
protests to get us back on.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still going
That
through.
should be
like-
your new tagline.
Yeah.
Banned in 17.
Yeah. Well, I made a comment about production on the Parkway Drive album, and then everyone went mental. There was protests in the street. There was some real social justice warriors out there going crazy on the definition of what muddy production is.
Something about Palestine.
Something about Palestine, yeah. No, all joking aside,
Yeah,
comment-
hopefully it won't happen again. I mean,
yeah.
like this is a non-profit podcast, and we are doing it for fun.
Yeah, but the algorithm that scans through our podcast doesn't care.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't care.
Oh, they just have a
Shit.
laugh.
That doesn't care for shit. I mean,
we're not making
that-
a single penny out
out
of
of
this. We're doing this for
all the songs I could have picked,
pure
that was the
joy.
only one
They
that-
don't
that
own it,
would've
that's fine.
banned
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, we don't own the rights to any of this.
Yeah.
sort of music.
No, but then if they want to stick a link on our video, then fine.
Yeah.
If they want to stick a link direct to our album
YouTube ain't
sales,
nothing.
Just when you were saying like you might get adverts and stuff, I was thinking like, are we going to start having
Timothy.
fucking yeah,
It's your Del Milo day, whatever it is.
5 second L'Oreal advert at the start of the podcast, which I don't really want.
that you can't skip.
We've got like a metalhead L'Oreal advert, like windmilling.
They're missing a trick. They should do
Yeah, that would be a great advert.
Makes
Yeah.
your hair so strong it doesn't get pulled out in the pit.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, what was you saying? Alright, yeah. Anyway, I listened to Mastodon album as well. The new Mastodon album.
Still not gone there.
Yeah, it is good. It's
I can't.
it is heavy to listen to.
It's heavy but not heavy. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. I kind of started when I was listening to it, just zoning out.
Sorry.
He's like, what?
No, I'm just thinking of a comment someone made about the Mastodon album.
But
Someone I know that's quite into sort of prog and stuff and alternative music. It's just like, it's cack, mate. Okay.
just summed it up. There you go. Don't need to listen to it.
I can't bring myself to tackle that hairy elephant.
Fair enough.
Well, oh yeah, I thought it was okay. Like listening to it with headphones, you kind of just zone out from what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do I need to
listen
smoke
to
a
that.
joint to enjoy it?
I think so. I think you need to do that and then
Light
just sit there and.
It does,
Just
on a
that
serious point, it does sort of seem like an album that is going to require quite a bit of patience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those that it's not just going to instantly grab you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, some hardcore album.
Yeah.
It's going to kick you in the throat straight away. You sort of, you get that slow build up with Mastodon, like Call Near Birchman, a song like that
Yeah.
just sort of builds up, and then you get that one epic moment in the song. That's sort of Mastodon to me. That's how I feel about that.
There's a lot of brilliant moments in their tracks that can go sort of unheard because they're such an intense band. But when I first listened to it, I actually found that it faded into the background for me. I'm not sure what I was doing. I was probably just folding up some clothes or something. So that's like, I'll check out new music whilst I'm doing stuff. Occasionally, like it's very rare that I really sit down, other than driving, like
Yeah.
and putting it on then.
Yeah.
When I'm like on a long drive, I rarely sit down with headphones and get into it. So, it can either really sort of pull you in, like you say, in a headphone listen, or it can just kind of blend because it's just so intense. It just kind of like meshes the background.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. So, is that's all covered for new listens then?
Yeah.
So,
I have been listening to Capture the Crown, and it was an album called Reign of Terror. It's a good, solid. It's an Aussie metalcore band. It's a good, solid metalcore album.
Yep.
Nice hard riffs with a catchy chorus. It's definitely worth a
Yeah, they
listen.
sounded alright when you showed me them
Definitely
earlier.
cool.
Yeah, sounded good.
Yeah,
I'll,
there we go on the list.
I'll look into them.
who would you sort of compare them to?
It's just really sort of a generic metalcore album.
Generic.
It's not
Just
generic in a
generic.
bad way, but
Yeah,
that sound, if you know, like an
Okay.
American metalcore,
Okay.
but they're Australian, so it's irrelevant. But like solid hard riffs with
Yeah.
a good screamer.
Is the
Like catchy
Australian
chorus.
accent there?
It's not present, no.
Right,
Not
okay.
not in what I've heard.
I discovered a band called the Smith Street Band. I don't know if you've heard of them at all.
No.
But they're an Australian folk punk band. Now I didn't realise that folk was, a thing in Australia. I thought that was sort of
Fucking hell, I was there for 2 years. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is, if
I
you
didn't
can
come
imagine
across
Frank Turner, sorry, but with
Yes.
an Australian accent. That's basically it. It's if you can get past that, just like, well, I've gone down the Barbie mate. Like, just I can't do an Aussie accent.
It's more like George Formby.
It's very Australian and it's
Okay.
just kind of like, but like sort of working class stories and sort of, you know, about the struggles, essentially.
Struggles of living in the
The
outback.
struggles of being bitten by snakes.
They have
Pretty
some,
much, yeah.
they have some strange genres in Australia.
Yeah.
Next month in London, I'm going to a Australian stoner punk gig,
Great.
Yeah.
which should be quite interesting. Australia, mate.
Straight.
You would love it over there.
You
would.
fucking Drago.
Drongo.
They've got good healthy scenes in their cities over, like Melbourne especially. They're live, like Feeder to the Sharks from Melbourne. Even like Byron Bay, where Parkway are from.
Yeah.
Just good local, like, what are they, a town of about 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And like,
It's a great place.
yeah, and like the bands that have come out of there were like quite a lot, quite a few of them. Not just
I think
Parkway.
what was the band I was talking about a few weeks ago that's from Australia? It's quite, yeah, I've been discovering a lot of Australian music lately, but
Yeah, the scenes are really healthy, but I feel like maybe they are that way because they can't really export their music.
yeah,
Like the cost of it is just extortionate.
yeah.
Like, so I think that's why CJ quit as Murder. He just couldn't afford it. It's gonna bug me. There's another band from Byron Bay. That
That's not Parkway Drive. I don't think there is one, is there?
is it Prom Queen?
I Kill the
I Kill
Prom Queen,
the
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're from Byron Bay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so there you go.
no. Shut my mouth.
Shut your dirty whore mouth.
If we're not banned in Australia, then get in touch. Yeah.
Anyway. Alright, we're going to talk about Image.
We're gonna be bad in Australia if you carry on.
We're going to talk about
Another
Image.
stereotype.
We're gonna talk about stereotypes.
Basically, we can, yeah.
That's all included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Image and music. If we're going to go stereotype, what would you say? Someone's walking down the street, you would go, Hatebreed fan. What do you wearing?
Right.
Camo shorts.
It looked like you.
All fingers pointing
In
at
fact,
you.
it did blend into the crowd when we saw Hatebreed.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of jester about him.
Yeah.
Just put a bandana on, camo shorts.
Bandana, camo
He had
shorts.
camo shorts.
Yeah.
Hatebreed
Tattoos,
t-shirt.
bald,
Yeah.
angry looking.
Camo shorts, yeah.
All right, where are you going with this?
Oh no, just by just through stereotypes,
Yeah.
really, and how people see other people.
Yeah, I
And,
mean, there's this
You,
guy
know what
used to
I'm saying?
come on our podcast. He just looks like
oh yeah, that tramp he had on.
the epitome of the 80s sort of thrash metal kid.
Yeah.
You remember him?
I have no idea who you're talking
Oh.
about. I just don't know who you're on about.
Mona Leesky.
Moan at least.
Um,
He does moan a lot.
He gets so angry. I love it.
right, so how important is image in marketing yourself as a band? I guess that's the discussion, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Well, since the 80s and the dawn of MTV television, obviously MTV, it's become more and more important. Like to sell yourself and get your brand across, image is now almost as important as your sound, because you won't get picked up by a record label if you don't have that marketable image or that USP that they're looking for
Yes.
to define you from the crowd.
Yeah, it's like you have to be moulded almost.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a study done recently which was done on advertising, but the images they portrayed in the advert, as long as they had a good emotional connection with the audience, if it was a brand they swore they'd never buy again, that it would encourage them to buy the brand more than the message did.
Okay.
And that's just from the image of the brand alone, because it creates that emotional connection that you get from imagery more than
a message. Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, if it's at young audiences, like I think younger people are definitely more susceptible to, inheriting a sort of a certain image, or
Or taking on one
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back, I mean, I don't know. I put my hands up and say, when I was sort of 16, 17, I had the whole emo look, and that was definitely, pull back from my inspiration of the stuff I was listening to at the time. I had the 2 belts. I had the ridiculous floppy hair.
Camo shorts.
Yeah.
And back when I was at school, I bought into the whole you have to have jeans with legs that you can fit 4 people into.
Yeah, it's weird that it went like the other way to just complete spray on jeans. It was like baggy jeans was the alternative thing.
And wallet chains. And
literally overnight, everyone was skinny jeans.
Yeah. Oh, something I get told now. So it's interesting looking at how what you listen to affects your image, because I want to touch on last week we talked about hardcore and heavy fests. I mentioned I went there, and that was a massively, hardcore centric festival. I was with a big group of people, with about sort of 15 of us, in this just in our little circle of like tents or whatever. And my girlfriend at the time had like the flesh tunnels, a couple of tattoos and stuff. I mean, I've got half sleeves done, but I was wearing blue jeans, normal, just like plain Vans or whatever, like plain black t-shirt, and that's. I haven't really got any like crazy piercings or anything like that. And a couple of people said to me in our group, like, "Oh, is this your thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I actually said, "Oh, you just look a little bit plain."
They came up to you and said that.
Yeah, these were like new people that were part of the group that I was sort of getting on with, and it's not like I was like, "Well, hey man, how did you go and say that about me?" I didn't care, but it was just I just remember it because it was like that was a scene that everybody had massive flesh tunnels, loads of like colourful tattoos, and like you say, the camo shorts, and it was hardcore had such an image, especially around that point.
Yeah.
That it was like, oh, you're a little bit different. There's something. And I just find that interesting how people define themselves that way.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
I kind of think that's something you grow out of as you get older. When you're at school and stuff, you wear your music on your body essentially. You buy into the jeans, you buy into the haircuts. Yeah. But as you get older and mature, and you realise it's a way of mind, and it's in your heart. It's not. It doesn't matter what you wear. You are.
It's your mentality.
You are. It's your mentality.
Yeah.
And by buying into these brands, the fact we have alternative brands makes me angry.
Well, because
it defeats the point.
You're as much as a slave to a trend.
Yeah.
By following an alternative trend, although in trying to be different, you are just becoming a sheep.
Yeah.
And becoming the thing that you're trying to rebel against.
Yeah.
By following.
Exactly.
All right, you're not following the main.
Yeah.
But you're still following.
Yeah.
Like an off branch of.
It's like that whole idea
something.
of being the whole individualism. I'm an individual. Well, you're not. Everybody is an individual. But we're all very, very alike. We just choose to like sort of brand ourselves differently.
Yeah.
So like that whole idea of being alternative is you are now the mainstream. You're just like everybody else. There is no sort of uniqueness there. Everyone's got tattoos now. You know?
Yeah.
But it's funny. I often get told now. You look like you used to be in a metal band. I did. How did you know? Just a bit rough around the edges. Like I don't know what it is. I guess it might be what you're saying about the whole mentality. Of like you it's in your heart, the way you carry yourself.
I went out yesterday and met up with some old friends, and somebody turned around to me and was like, "Oh, you look like you walked out of 2008." And I was like, "Well, what the fuck's that supposed to mean?"
It was a great comment.
I bought my clothes last week. How did I
at work, I am a goth.
Just the white face paint comes out.
No,
bit dark funeral
they know I'm into heavy metal and heavy music and stuff, and so in their head, when I go out, I put makeup on. I wear like a spiked dog collar.
Are we talking literally?
I mean, that's just ignorance.
Yeah,
it's just like
that's where I'm going. Like it is pure ignorance.
It's just pure ignorance.
And I was saying to this guy, like, why do you think like I'd dress up like that then? He's like, it's just goth, isn't you? Like,
in a boy,
like,
fucking goth, mate.
That's
where
so
do I
brilliant.
start
I
with you?
love that.
That's so the whole. You're a grebo, mate.
You're a grebo.
Mentality.
You're a
Fucking grebo,
You're a weirdo.
Like,
And, he said, "Oh, I saw a goth the other day." I said, "What do you mean a goth?" He said, "I had long hair and a big coat, big boots." Right. I said, like, "Did he scare you?" He said, "Oh, a little bit."
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
that.
mate,
That's
like-
that.
And that's when you then
Prejudice.
say, like, well, am I wearing any of those things?
He's too busy listening to The Cure to do anything.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, just ignorance. And when I'm going after this is like band T-shirts. I think was it Primark who had like Slayer T-shirts
Slayer.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
The Ramones is obviously the classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
What's your
got-
favourite Ramones song?
Yeah.
But then
So it's like where they're essentially like in school were bullying the alternative kids.
Yeah.
Has now switched around and they're now buying Slayer T-shirts and Primark.
yeah, I mean, I come from the age when it definitely wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And, like, I was pretty much the only one in the village.
You're a Slayer fan in the village?
Not definitely wasn't a Slayer then. Definitely wasn't a Slayer.
Oh, no.
And I'm not gonna lie, I got beat up a lot as a kid.
Right.
And you used to go off the teachers, well, you kind of make yourself a target.
Really?
Yeah.
I hear stories like this, like, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think like we went to the same school together, Fisher. Like, I feel like we had it pretty good. Like, we especially, it sounds weird in retrospect because we don't really speak in labels now. Like, everybody is just a human being, but like back then it was like, okay, here's the Grebo guy, like the alternative guy. Here's the Chav.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I feel like
definitely.
we all kind of, especially towards the end of high school, all got along. And it was like, I remember being like, oh, look guys, I've got long hair, but I'm speaking to the Chav kids. And then they're like, oh yeah, he's good. I remember, you're alright for a bit of a griever, aren't you?
Yeah,
Like,
that
you know,
was
Yeah.
that was the
you know, and then I
classic.
hear stories about like people grabbing like the guy with long hair and shoving him down the toilet and shit like that. And it's like, this actually happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, although it's not effectively a long time. I'm 4 years older than you, and it changed a lot. You know, I could see
Yeah.
it throughout my high school career
Yeah.
changing. But yeah, it wasn't a good time. And you get the whole, you don't help yourself. You're wearing a leather trench coat
Right.
and a coffin backpack. Start
Yeah.
making yourself a target.
Yeah.
It's like, why shouldn't I be able to
What the fuck?
wear the fuck I want
Yeah.
without being
Goth shaming.
Yeah. Music slut shame.
Yeah. They bring it on themselves. No, but I think it's the point to make is like, I think when I was younger, I would be like, why am I being judged for looking a little bit different, or why are you looking at goths in a certain way, or like. But at the end of the day, it's okay to, in your head, to have a reaction to something that doesn't look unlike you, and you could then bring this into the way that we look at other races and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're always going to look at someone that you don't identify with or relate to and go, oh, they're a little bit different. But the difference is whether you then learn about them or whether you're judging them and acting on
You,
it.
you
the
can't
difference.
judge a person by how they look or
Yeah.
the music they're into.
Yeah.
Like, everybody has an individual personality.
Exactly, yeah. But then on the flip side, if I was to see in the hot summer day, you know, a guy in a long trench coat, the white face paint, and the fucking, 8-inch Dr. Martens, I would just be like, mate, come on, just fucking crack on a tank top, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that might sound really ignorant to some people, but we've all got that, and you can't deny that inherent. We're all a little bit judgmental as well.
Yeah.
So
But that's kind of a good side of the whole image and metal thing, is you can tend to spot people you're going to get on with.
yeah, and that's what you look for in
Roughly.
life, is
You-
people you can relate
You
to.
can be like, oh, they're clearly running through a forest listening to death metal, or he's a Hatebreed fan. Or,
Why is that guy always running?
you'd have thought by now the 17 albums they've recorded in a forest, they know it doesn't accumulate to good sound quality.
I do feel like in metal more than any other genre, it's one where we probably, or the musicians in metal, give a fuck about their image the least.
Yeah.
Like, metal is one that's out there that's pretty much more about the music than anything else. You get your bands that are very vain and that kind of thing, but it's not the majority. I don't feel.
Yeah.
What?
So I was
Just looking at Danny's face.
I was just laughing at this song. I don't know what it is, but it was distracting.
It's me butter bread with butter.
Is this your playlist?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It is Carl's pick.
Right. Yeah, and there was another thing as well. So you touched on the whole Primark thing with selling band T-shirts. You know, and they're very much in the forefront of mainstream culture. There was like Kanye West wearing a Cradle of Filth T-shirt, and
Really?
yeah, and then there was I think I shared it with you guys. There was a photo of Chris Brown at one of his shows. It came out and he was wearing like, and this isn't a big deal, but it was just as we were on the topic. Was wearing a shirt with like Lamb of God patches and sort of a Pantera patch on the side. And you sort of say, well, that is, yeah, I know that artists, like R&B artists like him, definitely do take fashion very seriously. So it is definitely more of a fact. I mean, Kanye West says that he makes his fashion, doesn't he? Yeah. So that is part of it. But you go, well, do you actually listen to those bands, or are you just using the culture as appropriation as to sort of look a bit cooler? So I don't know how I stand on that.
Chris Brown wearing metal patches doesn't help our aggressive image.
Yeah, for the very old school conservatives that are like looking at it just going, oh Jesus, who's he going to punch next?
What woman is he going to beat now?
Yeah. Maybe happened once in 2009. Let it go. Fucking hell.
Maybe those artists wearing the patches, wearing the t-shirts, might get rid of the ignorance from looking at other people.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're a bit weird.
We had that the Kardashian sister.
Slayer t-shirt. Yeah.
But then what's his name? It was Jeff Hanneman's replacement. The other guitarist from Slayer came out with a t-shirt saying.
I thought it was the first Zakk Wylde, wasn't it?
No, it's not Zakk Wylde.
Oh, okay.
It's
that's a classic image though. Yeah, it's been around.
Kill the Kardashians or something.
I mean,
yeah.
It goes completely the other way. I mean, like, look back to that Parkway gig and look at the 3 bands on there, and the variety of their image was so different. I mean, you had
Parkway was
like
a
smart.
It was like
pretty much
very clean cut,
buttoned up shirt, black jeans.
Yeah.
And then you had Asking Alexandria. Everyone except Danny was still going for that screamo.
Yeah, Scene Kid sort of thing.
Scene Kid look, and then Stick to Your Guns was just
like hoodie and jeans.
Yeah.
The hardcore thing. Yeah. That's it.
How the fuck you wear a hoodie on stage? I have no idea. But.
Yeah, and in like pop music, I think pop's always been that way. But this was the conversation that we had when my band started out. We have the same artist that did all the 1975 stuff. I don't know if you've seen it with the rectangle that's become like the iconic front of their first album and the second one. They've got like the 3 rectangles above the stage set.
Okay.
And they use these kind of like 3D visual backdrops that's all based on that sort of architecture. The artist that did that did our album cover, and then we were having discussions when we first started out, like, okay, well, with promos, do we need to make ourselves, what sort of band are we, what box are we in? And then we all just quickly snapped out of it and just said, fuck it, no, just be what you are, and that there is definitely a place for authenticity, and that completely works. We all listen to so much different music, and that comes across in our sound, and therefore that's then going to be reflected in our image. It'd be weird if we started trying to look all cool and wearing, I don't know, just started dabbing in photo shoots or whatever, and then you listen to our music and it's just like a mesh of all these things,
Yeah.
So again, I don't think there's any right or wrong way, but it's shamefully, I feel like if, like you said, if we did have an image, it probably would have high chances of success, but there goes your integrity,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, look at that band you're not allowed to talk about with Andy Ballsack.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, oh, hey man, don't make me come out here.
You're fucking here again.
I'll give you my fucking instrument, you can play, alright? Okay.
But their image doesn't fit their music.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they picked that stark contrast to get you to talk about them.
You don't think that the black face paint and all of the sort of leather blackface.
I can't say I've seen that image.
The blackface. That would be really controversial, wouldn't it?
The Al Jolson album.
But yeah, the sort of Motley Crue style that they've gone for, you don't think that fits their sound?
No.
Okay.
It does until he opens his mouth.
Right, yeah. That's the same. We said it the other day, his voice
like,
doesn't
he could
fit.
probably have a great pop career.
Yeah.
Like when he started releasing songs as Andy Black.
Yeah.
But his voice does not suit the
It's-
type of music that band is pumping
Yeah,
out.
it is still a bit too Lego Batman to me. Yeah. But like, as I slated them, I was more an issue with the sound than it was the music. So it's sort of great. But then if I was 16, it probably would have been a different comment. It would have been, well, they look like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, we said this about Creepy, didn't we?
Yeah. I think
Same
that their
sort of-
image has a massive part in their current success,
Yeah.
actually.
But
Yeah.
then it-
So there's people like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
His image is a massive
his
part of
everything,
Yeah.
like his stage shows and stuff
Yeah.
back in the day were absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then your image can fundamentally harm you
Yeah,
as
I
well.
do.
Like the amount of bands, like I put off listening to Asking Alexandria for so long, and
Me too.
I am a massive fan of electro metal, and just purely off the way they looked,
Yeah.
they look like a bunch of wankers, and I'm not going to enjoy it, so I'm not going to listen to it. Then I heard a few tracks from a friend when I didn't know who they were, loved it, and was like, oh, been missing out just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'd prejudged them on what they looked like.
Prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Yeah, other bands like Motionless
Motionless
in
in
White.
White. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That
got
really strikes me as a sort of a big inspiration from AFI. That whole
yeah.
black hair, white makeup sort of stuff. That
And the whole devil lock damsel.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know, I would always rather listen to a band that are just being themselves, no image.
Yeah.
Bands like it that don't have so much of an agenda as such. It's like,
So much of a
like
stereotype.
yeah, like it doesn't strike me as Randy from Lamb of God doesn't strike me as dressing any way in particular. He just sort of throws on any old clothes and gets on with it. And
It's more
there's
authentic.
nothing. There's nothing image-wise about that band that's going to detract from the music in any way whatsoever. And
And then can your care of your image harm your performance on stage because you're too busy worrying about what you look like rather than the performance you're giving
quite
giving
possibly,
out?
quite possibly it could.
So the same thing with Slipknot.
So you've got like a punk mohawk and it just starts flopping.
wait 1 second, I need to use this can of hairspray.
I mean, they must take a lot of effort, those mohawks. Gotta give them
Yeah, it's
that.
like super glue
I
or some
wouldn't
sort
know.
of resin.
420.
Yeah, I was going to mention Slipknot because, well, you take one look at them and you know what you're getting into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Surely.
Probably abuse.
Yeah, probably.
yeah. Even now, they're to look at. They're still pretty scary. Still pretty on first glances.
Yeah. You see a lot of bands definitely tone it down over the years as well.
Yeah, Mudvayne lost their masks.
That was Mudvayne did it for that one album.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that's all it was for that one
A
album.
classic example of toning it down is Mortis.
Right.
He went from full Goblin
Oh yeah.
to then just wearing the nose,
Oh.
and now he's just muddy. The last time I saw him, he looks like he's just got out of a swamp and doesn't wear any prosthetics.
Parkway Drive.
Parkway Drive's album.
We're talking Parkway Muddy here.
No, his album's called Palestine. No, rather than like full, because I don't know if you remember those videos from years ago.
Yeah.
When he used to go full Goblin and
Yeah.
like full prosthetics. Now
Sounds so funny. I went full Goblin.
You never go full
You
Goblin.
never go full Goblin. Right, that's the tag for this podcast right there.
but yeah, he's toned it down and he just
Yeah.
looks like he's crawled out of a swamp rather than wearing a load of prosthetics.
Right.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
and
Just
had a
the
much
garden
better
gnome.
sound.
It does
as
make
well.
me wonder how a band like Loathe or something like that can go on tour and night after night.
Oh
just
yeah,
fucking-
they had lots of work to do. Didn't
Yeah.
But yeah, like Lord Igua, you
Wow.
pay to see that, don't
Yeah,
you? You
for
pay
sure.
to get spunked on by Hitler and stuff like that.
they? Is that what's happening?
They did that. at one
He's
of the
got an
live
alternate
shows.
facts over
You,
here.
you have to go in a white t-shirt because you get covered by people getting beheaded. And,
Oh okay.
Shit.
yeah.
Sounds like
It's an
Rammstein and the
experience.
massive like foam
Foam
camp
foam
thing they've
penis,
got.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every song.
For the whole
And
set.
it's green, yellow,
Oh,
red.
Jesus.
Oh, what colour did you get? Yeah, I mean, again with like Avenged, if you look at like how, I mean, I hate on Black Veil Brides, but it's not far off actually what Avenged used to look like with City of Evil days with all the sort of like makeup and stuff. But you look how toned down they are now. Like the music's just as wild, but the image is.
Could that,
you know,
again be down to age and them maturing as a band and people and realising they don't have to do that to sell who they are?
Yeah,
definitely.
They probably wrap out with it was a big scene, hasn't it? The whole emo
in the whole 18 Visions, the Orange County, sort of vibe.
Who started the old emo scene?
What do you mean, like?
I want to blame.
Do you mean like traditional emo, screamo?
I want to blame My Chemical Romance.
No.
Taking Back Sunday.
Taking Back Sunday, Saves the Day.
Yeah.
They were out way before MCR.
Early Brand New.
Yeah.
Brand New. Yeah.
When they were shit.
You're looking for someone to blame.
Chris,
point the finger.
I'd go Taking Back Sunday and Save the
Yeah.
Day. Chris Connolly and Adam Lazzara, pretty much.
What was after that? Maybe the
Funeral for a Friend, then took it to a bit of another place.
MCR blew it out of the water, didn't they? And then Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, expanded on fucking
And then all of a sudden you've got, what is it, 303?
Hawthorne Heights.
Oh, that's who I was thinking.
Yeah.
Say us in.
And then you've got Metro Station.
Another wrong Cyrus.
Yeah.
Wasn't Alexa's on Fire? Were they?
Not any. Well, they were kind of like.
They seem to be popular with a lot of emos.
They were kind of like, I guess, rooted in that whole screamo era of like hardcore, like shouty with like pop choruses, but they definitely weren't an emo band.
Right. Okay.
Much more kind of punk rooted,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay.
But if you go to their first album, it is a little bit, This is 44 caliber love letter straight from my heart. Oh God, no.
Bleeding Through was an emo band.
Yeah.
Bleeding Through. No.
Lyrically. See, this is literally the point, is that we're talking about image and how it has that effect, because you would assume that they are, and it's the same with Bring Me back in the day. Like, they're an emo band, and you have one listen to them. It's like no.
But it's just, what is it? Emotive
rock or emotive music, wasn't it? That's what it was.
Then I guess everything is emo,
then,
bar indie music, which has no soul. I'm just putting it out there. Indie makes me feel nothing.
Yeah.
It really does. I sound so fucking ignorant about, like, I listen to all sorts, but the vast majority of indie music just does not move me. Anyway, sidetracking.
So newer emo bands, I'd say like Beartooth.
I was going to say, didn't metalcore essentially take over
Yeah.
as the next big scene
Yeah.
to mix the screaming and the clean
The
vocals,
scene sort of
the
breakdowns.
breakdowns,
Yeah.
with the clean
crossover, I
chorus,
suppose. Yeah, like
catchy chorus.
like the end of Heartache.
Yeah.
You could say was a definite crossover.
I think that's where it's evolved from.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Beartooth emo band.
Would you not?
Not at all.
No, I wouldn't.
Not musically.
No,
Maybe on the lyrical side.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
lyrical side, yeah. That's actually probably one of the issues I have with Beartooth. Is that it's a bit like we're just not being bullied at school. You know, no, don't advocate that for anyone at that age. You know, obviously that is a real thing, but you know, I'm a little bit different, and just like about the whole like the kids that are left alone and the weirdos and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's just a bit juvenile and kind of like on the emo side. But musically, it's pretty fucking up there with, you know, hardcore with like.
But then they'll sing something like that, and then sing something with a really strong political agenda, like American Dream.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's definitely in 2017. It's definitely hard to put a lot of metal in a strict box.
That's why there's so many new labels coming out.
Yeah, and we've got a bit of an obsession with labelling things, and you know, people. Again, I'm then correcting you, but you know that your definition of it might be completely different. Like, who am I to say?
Yeah.
That's where you get so many elongated titles of genres now, like post-hardcore, electrocore.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah.
It's our obsession with pigeonholing.
Post-Norwegian,
trance,
deathcore jazz fusion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For the game next week.
Yeah.
Is that
The
I
sound
think, yeah,
of the
I think-
wind through.
I think the game should just get odder and odder. Anyway, should we move on to it then?
Yeah, let's go on to the game. So, we picked thrash this week. How did we find it?
I really enjoyed this week. I struggled
I
at first,
found
but then I turned a corner
Yeah.
quite nicely.
Yeah, I thought I had it in the bag, and then I started to struggle a bit.
I was the same as you. I struggled a little bit. I'll get into it, but yeah, eventually came across something
The
fucking
views
awesome.
I'm about
which
to
I-
express are not the views of anyone in this podcast except myself.
Right, okay.
Basically, I hate thrash and I hate everything about it. I thought this was about as fun as draping my wet balls over an electric fence.
Can't get any clearer than
If I'm
that.
honest, that sounds fun.
This song in the background here, bit of municipal waste, the thrashing of the Christ, very
Yeah.
appropriately timed here.
What do we know about thrash then?
I'm thinking
It's fast.
it
I
is
think-
fast.
Party, pits,
Yeah.
pop.
My beer is spilt.
James
Yeah.
Hetfield.
Face melting solos. Bay Area,
Bay Area.
long
Why are
hair.
you discreetly opening your beer?
I don't know. I think I ruined it enough when I had to expel because of
Okay. Loud and proud,
Linkin
my man.
Park was mentioned.
Yeah, massively Bay Area, San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Thrash was
Oh, yeah.
Thrash was born
Yeah. Kill 'em all.
in the form of Testament and Exodus and the Big Four. Yeah, Death Angel and Forbidden.
So who are the big four?
Death Angel are definitely in there, aren't they?
Yeah,
I'd say.
The big four:
Just name
Slayer,
them.
Metallica, Anthrax,
Megadeth.
Megadeth.
Oh, you're talking about that big four. I thought you were talking about just specifically a thrash big four.
Just
That is
the-
the big thrash.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
thrash big four.
I suppose they are, aren't they?
Early days.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say,
The
yeah.
original purveyors,
original,
the
yeah,
original
yeah.
big four.
Yeah.
not
I was gonna
the-
say-
not the neo thrash that exists for labels.
So what were the albums back in the day? It was Kill 'Em All, Rain and Blood.
Yeah.
Can't think of the Anthrax.
I'm seeing. I'm not really.
No, I don't know.
Or Megadeth.
Is that Hangar 18 from Megadeth?
Well, it was that whatever album that was on.
Yeah.
Peace Out. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that didn't look
Fuck
at them.
Megadeth.
I wanted to go back and find an older band, but it was just rubbish. Basically, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
There is real good newer thrash bands like Hatchet. They're from Bay Area.
Okay.
Machine
Header from Bay Area.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they were very thrashy.
Yeah,
Very
anyone
thrash band.
that says thrash is normally from the Bay Area, probably.
Yeah.
Came across a band called DRI, which is Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. And-
We should mention the Bay Area is
yeah.
San Francisco,
Yes.
California.
Which
Oakland.
I only discovered recently. I haven't not even visited America, so.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah,
that'd
sure.
be an
Yeah.
awesome place to visit.
I wouldn't have had a
think.
clue what you were going on about the Bay
Really?
Area.
Okay. The area, all that area
Area 11.
of the bay. Yeah.
But yeah,
BAE. Just full of bays. Sorry, Dab.
Still mentioned 420.
420 blaze it.
Yeah, most of the tracks I found were something to do with partying, being in the pit, and generally thrashing around.
Having a thrash.
Having a thrash around, yeah.
Right.
And
Like
it's,
Magikarp.
but yeah, that's what we found. Massive history in thrash.
I feel like a lot of the bands in metal, in one way or another, are influenced by thrash. I think it's the only subgenre that so many have just
Dip their toes in.
Yeah.
Or balls.
Or balls.
An
yeah.
electric fence.
It would have been more fun.
Yeah.
Or nailing them to a desk.
It brought the speed to metal, as opposed to that doomy, slow Sabbath sound.
Yeah.
It just gave it an injection. It gave it life.
Yeah. And then, well, from thrash, he was looking at like deathcore and black metal.
Yeah,
which are
like Venom, like
Yeah.
bands like that could.
So we've got
come
a
along
lot
and-
to thank it for.
Yeah, man, be grateful.
yeah, we're talking about thrash in the Bay Area. The band I picked is from Finland.
Well, that's an example of the reach of thrash. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got the whole melodic thrash scene in Scandinavia.
My
as
band
well.
I picked is called Lost Society. Formed in 2010. They won Global Battle of the Bands in Finland.
Okay.
How can it be global if it's only in?
Oh, they probably do it country by country,
Okay.
and then went to the final in London apparently. On Nuclear Blast, they've got 3 albums out at the minute, and this is a song called Hangover Activator. Which I'll show you. See what I mean with
Yeah.
drinking, party, and thrashing around.
Yeah,
It's
I
brilliant.
well enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, I'd be in the pit for that.
Yeah.
and
Carl
not
did not.
looking impressed.
No.
When's it going to end?
When can I take them off this fence?
Yeah, got 3 albums. One called Brain Dead, Terror Hungry, and Fast Loud Death.
Great name.
I think that track was from the Brain Dead album, which is a lot slower, a lot heavier than the last 2 albums. Maybe less thrashier than the last 2 albums.
Okay. Less thrash.
What did I say?
No, I was.
Less
I was-
thrashy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my band.
Cool. I really enjoyed that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go, Fisher? Who
Yeah.
have you got?
I've got Battlecross. These are from Canton in Michigan, under the well-known subgenre within thrash metal. There's blue collar thrash metal.
Blue collar thrash
I can
metal.
only
What is
assume
blue
it's-
metal?
Have
Well-
the album at my desk by 9 a.m.
Everyone knows.
Thrash metal.
Everyone knows the blue collar thrash metal, right? No, I'm assuming because Michigan's a very, very working class state in America. That's
Oh, okay.
the blue collar
Right, yeah.
thing. That's all I can really pin that to. That's all I can say about that, really. But yeah, genuinely love this.
Yeah.
It's probably my favourite discovery from
Of the
doing
game so
thing.
far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah. Yeah. Give it a go. Here we go.
Nice little key change in there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
that
they're
was
full of
good.
them. They're absolutely
Yeah.
full of those little things. Very Silosis.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's who I
That's
like
who I
liking them too.
I'll
Which
give you
is
that one.
Very,
don't mind
He
that.
loves thrash.
very riffy, yeah, time changes all over the place. These technical little 10-second sections all over the place. Very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really, really
Keeps you on
enjoyable.
your toes,
So-
thrash
Yeah,
metal.
yeah.
That was good. I
So
like that.
yeah, cool.
Actually reminded me of my deathcore pick a few weeks ago. Black Dahlia. Quite a little bit.
In the beginning,
In
But-
the when with his low vocals.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
sure.
very majority thrash, but they throw in these little bits here and there. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a bit different.
Interesting.
It does keep it interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
It mixes it up a bit.
I
So
like Black Dahlia.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I've always liked those.
Yeah. Have you seen him live?
Good. No, I haven't.
yeah, you need to definitely. But yeah, we're keeping an eye out for Battlecross. That was off their latest album, a song called Force-Fed Lies, which the album is entitled Rise to Power. 2015 album, 2013 War of Will, and 2011 Pursuit of Honour. So, you know, bit of a back catalogue, been going for a few years. Seems to have got quite a bit of a fan base built up.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of them before, so yeah, new discovery there.
Awesome.
Happy days.
I liked it. Alright, Carl, hit us with...
I chose a band called Ramming Speed. They are from Boston. They've been around since 2007. What I'm looking at, the genre is thrash metal, grind, D-beat, rock and roll. Just to throw
Another
these labels out
well-known
there.
subgenre.
Yeah,
with
it's
this
got a
guy.
bit of grindcore in it. You've got to love it. But basically, I loved his vocals on it, and it didn't make me feel sick. I could listen to this as background music. It's not something I'd go out and pick to listen to.
Sure.
But if it came on, I wouldn't be offended. Which is quite a big thing for me.
Now, we're going to hear this, and
I can't wait.
it's you just listen to it and tell me who you think this is.
Right. That is Sanctity.
Sounds like Sanctity, but that
No,
that
does sound similar.
that starting
Yeah.
riff,
Those vocals.
those vocals are good, yeah. But
That sounds very
that
Sanctity.
that starting riff is Marshall Puppets. Did you want to know again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're thinking Creeping Death, aren't you?
Yeah, saying Creeping Death.
yeah. Yeah, not Marshall Puppets.
You're thinking
Yeah, it's Creeping Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cheeky.
It was ultimately the vocals that pulled me in. I can leave the whole epically long guitar riff solo stuff behind and
Yeah.
just put more singing in, and I'd like it more.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Quite like that.
But I like his vocals.
I had in my head when you say who does this sound like, the vocals instantly hit me as the Sanctity.
Yeah, it does sound like
Sanctity
Sanctity as well, yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. I like Sanctity a lot.
Cool.
No,
I
good
think I'm
choice.
happy to check all these bands out so
Yeah.
far. Yeah, really good.
That was Ramming Speed, piece of labour.
Ramming Speed.
Ramming.
Ramming.
Speed.
Ramming.
Ramming Speed.
Ramming Speed.
Right, okay.
That's such a thrash.
Yeah,
thrash title.
Just gently ram.
Alright, do you want to go, Danny?
Alright, mine is Power Trip. I'm going to play the track and then I'm going to ask you some questions.
Oh, then.
Alright, when do you think that was released?
Sounds like within the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'll say it's modern.
Okay.
Because you've asked, I'm going to say 1987.
Came out 2 months ago.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I only made a point of doing that because, yeah, it's fucking like, I mean, not production. The production is pretty big, but pretty fucking old school, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
It is, actually.
I'd heard of Power Trip recently as being like one of the standout records of the year so far, and that whole album, it just grinds like a fucking axe. It's just,
Yeah.
it just goes hard the whole way through.
It's what I do love about thrash is that it's so
Yeah.
unrelenting. It just
Yeah.
doesn't fucking
Well, I
stop.
specifically chose a thrashy part because this was like, you know, I think with thrash, you think of it, you want to hear something fast, but
Yeah.
the record is like dollops of Slayer, early Pantera,
Yeah.
and like definitely a Rise era from Sepultura, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But yet there's still a lot of like big riffs and grooves in there that are quite, you know, anthemic and
Yeah.
yeah, I've really got into that band really quickly. It's
Oh.
just, if you think of, when you think of metal, just the word metal, like that sound comes to mind. There's just nothing, there's nothing nice about it. Like they actually said producing this album that they went out to, they wanted it to be raw. They wanted it to sound like, have the mistakes in there, make it just live sounding, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Especially right now when a lot of stuff is overproduced and crispy.
Yeah.
So,
But back to basics.
Yeah, for sure. And they've been going since 2008, but I believe that's only their second album. So
They're called
Power Trip.
Power Trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And fun little fact, I think it was last week or the week before I mentioned the couple that got engaged in the pit.
Yeah.
That was during the Power Trip set.
Oh, okay.
So like in the middle of that.
There's a big circle pit going.
Yeah, exactly. So album's called Nightmare Logic, and that song was called Firing Squad.
Wow.
So check them out.
Yeah,
If you're a fucking metalhead,
Yeah.
you'll enjoy it.
Awesome.
Alright, Leesk has one.
Who?
That tramp we fired. Right.
We didn't bury him.
But
Don't know.
when I first met him, he said he was really into his thrash. But the clip he sent me,
Really, looking at him, I wouldn't think that.
the clip he sent me is very odd. So I think he's confused about life, I believe.
Right, say that.
Well, his
Say
life
that
motto
again.
is "We are the mess."
Yeah, but this is his clip he sent me.
Right.
Alright? I mean, he must be confused, surely.
Are you sure this wasn't your pick?
It wasn't my pick, but he's definitely confused.
Yeah. We said thrash, right?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know who this guy is, but hats off. That was beautiful. Whoever that. I can just picture like some blonde Goldilocks, you know, just
Yeah, sorry.
you know, had
In the wind.
poodle hair flowing in the wind.
He's got the wrong idea of thrash anyway.
All right, well,
Idiot.
that guy's irrelevant, then, isn't he? Jeez.
Well, if he wasn't fired before, he definitely is now.
You just thought a guy that moulded himself in Thrash's image would get it right.
Useless boy. Yeah,
Goblin.
Well, that was a turn of events. Okay,
yeah, so shall we go on to All Killer then?
let's do it. So,
One second. We did this before, didn't we? The next game
Oh yeah.
is we'll pick
Norwegian jazz fusion deathcore J-pop punk.
blues.
You showed us a band like that though.
Did I?
Like
Did
that
you?
one that Japanese
Oh, I
one
did.
that jumped from about
Is
10
it-
different
Oh,
genres.
yeah,
Isn't
something in the
that just
hormone.
mad capsule markets?
No, but they're not far off. Something, what they call something the hormone.
Maximum the
Maximum the
hormone.
hormone.
You can-
Of course you've heard that.
Of course I have.
Amazing.
There's a really good band called Area 11 that does metal covers of anime theme tunes.
Oh,
They're
okay.
good.
Was it like...
Was that like that Sepultura song?
Sepultura,
That weird jig thing they put at the end of their album.
Oh, we talked about last week, yeah.
That was an anime cover.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it last week, but there's a band called Area 11 that specifically did that.
So yeah, that's... shall we go industrial?
We
Do you reckon?
did, yeah, we sort of did.
I can taste
Did have a
the
bit of
reluctance
discussion.
in the room.
Huh?
Industrial, we happy?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
happy.
with industrial.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know fuck all about it, so great, yeah.
This,
Awesome.
yeah, so I mean the four that have gone before us, known a bit about, and I'm sort of a fan of the bigger bands of those genres.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's similar with industrial, but not like, I think Rammstein are probably the only one that really come to mind.
You've got
Yeah,
Rammstein, Fear Factory,
Fear Factory, yeah.
9 Inch Nails.
Mm. Yeah, it'll be an interesting
We'll
one
stick,
anyway.
We'll stick Meshuggah in there as well.
Meshuggah, yeah.
Meshuggah?
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah.
Yeah, industrial.
Good pick.
Industrial for next week.
Alright.
That'd be good.
I'm not sure how alive the scene is anymore.
It's
But that's a good way to check.
Yeah, sure, it's there. Alright, cool. Yeah, industrial for next week then.
Cool.
Alright, Carl. Give us your...
Hang about.
Oh, wow.
If I may interject. So before we start this week's All Killer, we need to reflect
Yes.
on last week's All Killer.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's alright.
yeah, sorry, mate. Wait your fucking turn. Who went back and listened to Fish's All Killer then?
I did.
I did.
I listened to it
I did.
Yeah?
once.
I didn't, sorry.
Cause
Well, I mean, it's an album I sort of listen to
Yeah.
every
As soon as I put it on, I remembered
so often.
how
Right.
good it was.
Yeah.
Now, I want to remember what I was saying last week about the Pantera references.
Yeah.
But I linked you both a video before we started this podcast, which, funnily enough, encapsulated what I sort of touched on last week. But in my memory, it was like it wasn't paying homage to a band, it was completely ripping them off. And I listened to it on my drive home last week, and I was like, okay, yeah, there they are. And then there was a video that shows the tracks back to back from how Throwdown literally took certain sections of Pantera songs, and it's actually pretty awful. Like,
it shocked me.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Not to tarnish your record last week, but
it shocked me, that video, because I knew it was.
Yeah.
I likened to Pantera, and I just thought it was a bit more Pantera influenced as opposed to out and out ripping them off.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was so similar.
Yeah. If you listen to Venom and Tears, like the verses sound just super similar to Mouth of War. And then there's a track called No Love, which has got a riff that sounds ridiculously like Revolution Is My Name.
Yeah.
But yeah, this video, I guess we can put it in the link in our description or something. It's funny.
Insane.
Yeah, like the phrasing and the tonality of the screams, and it's actually like side by side.
Put
it's
it
like
this
plagiarism
way,
in a way, you know.
Put it this way: if Pantera would have come out and written Venom and Tears, you wouldn't have thought much of like, oh, this isn't.
It's good Pantera.
Yeah, you wouldn't think, oh, this isn't Pantera. Like you'd think, it's decent Pantera.
And then furthermore, they also had a Pantera cover as well, which doesn't help.
Yeah, the first suggested video that came up was Throwdown covering Becoming.
Yeah.
Which actually was on the Dimebag tribute CD, so fair play to them for that. But it just shows you, like.
Yeah. So what did you think going back to the record in general?
Well, I loved it from the start.
Yeah.
So as soon as I put it on, you know instantly, or remember instantly what it was like.
That is
talking about almost
roller.
plagiarism. As I Lay Dying and Caliban had a similar thing, didn't they? With Caliban
3 or 4 times. Was blatantly ripping off.
Almost note for note, weren't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was riffing through Struggle.
Right.
And Caliban literally just stole it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a Caliban and As I Lay Dying comparison. Video.
There is.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You should check
Well, it's
that
good
one.
that this bullshit's pointed out. I mean,
they're two bands that were quite on similar paths, so for them, like, in direct competition with each other almost. I feel like Throwdown and Pantera, they've got that generation gap between them, but to do that to a band that are like you're going on tour with and stuff, like how can you look them in the eye and be like,
I mean, Venom and Tears when it came out for 2005, something like that, or so this was
2000.
Around the time I was seeing a lot of people saying, oh, they're kind of like they're under the wing of Pantera being gone, Dimebag being gone, like this is kind of like waving the flag, carrying it on. But,
there's waving the flag, and then there's like that
taking the piss,
ripping it off and hoisting it on your own pole.
I also I was listening to it, and like I remember it still goes hard and it still gets you going. Like there's definitely, I could imagine it being great live, but the production, like the guitars are so loud in the mix that the drums feel like sit behind it quite a lot of the time. And I think there's one song, I think is it called All Hail? Might be that song. Like the vocals.
Well, it's Americana.
That's the one. Yeah. But that's like the main hook. Yeah. The vocals in the verse. I was listening to it and I was like, okay, I think I've not got my cable plugged in correctly or something. And then I listened to it on like 3 different systems, and the vocals are like way below the rest of the music. It actually sounds like whoever was mixing it just, I don't know, like slipped on the wrong key or something like that. You know. It's
a bit of Justice for All.
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Just way low.
Still, enjoyable record, but
Did you listen to the album with the Sepultura cover at the end? Did you get that?
Oh, I didn't get the Sepultura cover, but if it's anywhere near as good as the quality of the Pantera one, it's probably. I remember it being awesome back in the day. So.
Yeah, Refuse Resist.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
And a great song as well. So.
Yeah. Hatebreed do a really good cover of it as well.
I don't think
Refuse
I've heard it.
Resist. But yeah, it's made me. It's made me not love that album less, but certainly view it now with a bit.
God, just like Phil Anselmo's tarnished his own legacy, now something else has tarnished that tribute legacy.
It's
There's just a little bit of a asterisk above the name now, isn't there? Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't aware of quite how similar that was. So,
It's alright, we forgive you. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
But anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, Carl, you're all killer.
I feel like I'm going to have to justify this a bit because I don't feel like many people will have heard of it. But basically, I came like you guys were talking about your journey into metal a few weeks ago, and I came from a very different route.
Okay.
I came from the Fear Factory, the industrial route into more mainstream stuff. So
Okay.
I think that's where my roots and my love of all the new electro metal stuff. That's why it's
Right. Okay.
so prevalent still today. But this is an album called The Height of Callousness by Spineshank,
Ah. Okay.
okay,
Right.
yeah,
released in 2000. They only released 2 singles off it. They released Synthetic and New Disease,
New Disease is a great song.
which
actually.
have a
remember
very new metal-y sound.
Yeah,
But if you listen to the rest of the album, I'd say it's more of an industrial album.
mm-hmm.
They formed because of Fear Factory's demanufacture back in 1996, and Dio got on their first tour.
Hold it down.
Not Dio, you know who I mean.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got on their first tour before they were
oh,
signed.
he took them out.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
cool.
because they formed because they loved that song so much.
Okay.
That record, sorry. And basically, from the very offset from Asthmatic, it is just a fast-paced, kick-in-the-gut industrial album with some awesome vocals and some awesome lyrics. And the time it came out, obviously 2000, I was deep in high school, and it is an album about being very, very angry with yourself.
Okay.
And it's just got a lot of emotion, and listening to it back, it sort of brings all that back to light.
So this is from start to finish. Every track.
Love it. Every single
yeah.
track.
You don't skip.
No, never skipped it. Made me wait the whole 3 years until Self-Destructive Pattern came out.
Nice.
And how did they follow after that? Was it?
Self-Destructive Pattern was okay. It was softer.
Yeah.
They went more down the new metal-y route because that was popular at the time, and then they split up.
Right.
And actually formed Silent Civilian.
Silent Civilian,
who I
which
fucking love.
ironically they split up because the singer Johnny wanted to make softer music, and then he came back and made Silent Civilian, which is fucking punch in the throat metalcore
Yeah,
band.
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Have you heard them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's interesting because Spineshank, I remember, they had a single on like a video game back in the day. And I
Sean
remember,
Palmer's Snowboard.
that's the one. Oh, I was thinking. Look at this
and
guy.
it was New Disease.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, I was picturing like snowboarding when I was saying that. Yeah. Now, and I remember just thinking, ugh, this is not for me around that time. But then it's again like around other bands of the new metal, like Raging Speed Horde, around the time that you heard like tracks that kind of made you sort of cringe, but I never delved into the whole album.
They did get compared a lot to bands like Static X. And
Yeah,
stuff.
stuff like that. Static
Drowning
X, Drowning
Pool.
Pool.
But then-
yeah.
I loved
if
him
you-
all then.
If you go and listen to the stuff that's not singles,
Yeah.
it's
That's
so
what-
different,
yeah.
and you can hear Fear Factory in every song.
Okay. Do you have a favourite track?
It was seamless back when I was a wee sprog, just because the pure emotion in it. It was brilliant.
That's just reminded me. Head Charge. They got to be in the industrial
Yeah,
Yeah.
category a bit.
yeah,
haven't they?
definitely inspired.
Yeah. Okay.
But then, yeah,
This is all helping for next week. Like getting some inspiration for a bit of industrial music. So.
yeah, they released Self-Destructive Pattern in 2003, broke up in 2006. Then 2012 they reformed and released, I think it was called Anger, Denial, Hate, and it's really, really angry. It's like a mix of the two. It's like a mix of Silent Civilian and Spineshank.
Was it made by Yoda?
No, Darth Vader,
Oh right, okay.
fully dark side.
something dark side. Something.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
Oh, that's cool, man. You I think surprised us all.
It is a heartfelt, emotional one.
Fucking emo.
Yeah, but this is our homework.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean-
we're gonna go away. This
Yeah,
I've got a description of it here from All Music.
Okay.
which said the height of callousness is a supercharged silver bullet of 11 aggressive tracks that will get your blood flowing as if you're engaged in a stock car race gone haywire.
That's a little blurb, a little synopsis there. Isn't
It's
it?
not a bad idea to get a little description
Yeah.
from
Wikipedia.
any given place.
It's from All
All music. Oh, okay.
which is like a Metacritic.
Oh, okay. Of like mostly fan written stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I like the new metal stuff. Like New Disease was fucking
Yeah, it was a good
awesome.
song.
I really
Synthetic
love
was
it.
a banger.
Yeah.
I never did see them live.
They were incredible.
Yeah, I can imagine they were pretty powerful. When did they split?
Like 2006, I think.
Yeah.
They tried for ages to replace Johnny on vocals, but it never happened. And then it came back in 2012. But I'd check out the new album as well. It's very, very different.
Are they back together now?
They haven't released anything again, but it doesn't mean they're broken up. They haven't released a statement saying they're broken up.
Okay.
Just left the door slightly open.
Yeah, I do
It's
hope
Silent
for a
Civilian's
third
still going.
Silent Civilian album.
Yeah, they still
I hope
going,
it doesn't hamper them. They've done 2 albums,
Yeah, because
and they are like balls
always
to the
felt
wall
like-
hard metalcore.
I always felt like Silent Civilian wrote this sort of stuff. Perhaps Bullet. They went down the road Bullet. Perhaps could have gone down like that very double bassy metalcore
Yeah,
sounding stuff,
yeah,
which is
very.
really different to Spineshank.
Yeah, so
like-
different. And considering he left because he said he wanted to do softer music,
Yeah.
and then comes out with a band that is so hard and so fast.
Yeah,
Cool.
awesome, good stuff.
Right, yeah, that will be our homework. So, yeah, Spineshank.
Who's
homework.
next? You're,
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a me.
cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll rehire that tramp again.
You have to dig him up.
We'll just sit him in the chair.
It'd be like One Night at Benny's or whatever that film was.
Glove puppet.
Stuart.
Turn him into a glove puppet.
You have a Michael Barrymore.
Oh jeez. And on that note,
Sorry, disclaimer.
Fuck yeah, we're definitely going to be banned in more than 17.
That's the aim.
if we can
Well,
get
if
Ed in North
Caliban didn't
Korea,
get banned in 17 countries for copyright, then why should we?
got a little tagline. Speaking of which, we'll be rebranding soon as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we'll
Keep an
reveal
eye
that as and when
Keep
with
an eye
a
out
nice
for
little
that.
jingle.
yeah, new stuff to come.
New
better,
logo, new
better
name.
stuff for the future.
Bit of a
Yeah,
rebrand.
Hopefully a bit more.
New season, new us and all that.
Yeah,
There you go.
maybe a bit smoother.
We can't promise anything.
No, we're not going to promise.
They
anything.
might allow me back, but I doubt it.
I'll let
We'll
you
see
there
how
were
the
no-
complaints go.
There were no unfinished sentences this week. We
Yeah,
remained,
yeah, no. Well,
remained professional.
kind of. Anyway, yeah. So homework, Spineshank, and industrial metal.
Yeah.
For the game.
Alright, well,
Cool. Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yep. Thanks for
joining,
Carl.
We'll see you next time.
Cool.
Thanks for
Amazing.
joining,
See you
Carl.
later.
No, pleasure's
Yeah.
all mine.
Who's Leesky?